Good morning, students. Welcome to the online class for Standard 8 English. And today we'll continue the chapter Father's Help. Till now, you know that how Swaminathan decides or makes a plan not to give the complaint letter in the beginning of the day as soon as he reaches it, and he decides that he will give it at the end of the day to the headmaster. And by this time, what he will do, what is the reason behind that? Can anybody tell? Yes, of course. So he wants to gather some proof against Samuel. So he wants that Samuel should do something to justify the complaint letter. And he waits for an opportunity, for a chance, so that he can justify the complaint which he has written in the letter. And that's why he goes to the school late. And when he enters the classroom, Samuel notices him and asks, "What happened? Why are you so late?" So he just tells that he had headache. And Samuel didn't punish him, nor twists his ear, nor makes him kneel down on a corner, nor he canes him. Rather, he only asks that if you are so late, if you had headache, then why you came to the school? What was the need? But Swaminathan said that his father, he wanted him to go, and he didn't tell that his father took it as a challenge and he wanted to see what you can do. But he simply said that my father, he just told me not to miss the classes. My father said that I shouldn't miss the classes. And Samuel becomes so impressed with this kind of parents. So he said they need more number of parents like him who are very sensible, who are really concerned for the education of their children. So, and Swaminathan came back to his seat, and let's see what happened. Swami went to his seat with a bleeding heart because first chance was missed. He was not able to get any punishment, neither he could get any proof to just justify that Samuel was a violent person. So he went to his seat, and he thought that he had never met such a good man, and so good man as Samuel. And now it was time for homework checking. That this created a scene of utter violence. And what would happen in this period? Notebooks will be flung, or they will fly to the face of the children. Boys would be caned, they will be abused, they will be scolded, and they will be made to stand up on benches. But that day nothing happened. So Samuel becomes so tolerant and you can say gentle. And he only pushed the notebooks which were not good. He just touched people with canes, and he never made anyone stand for more than a few minutes. And now what happened? Whose turn came? It was the turn of Swaminathan. So let's see what happened to Swami. Swami's turn came. He almost thanked God for this chance because he was waiting for some proof. If Samuel will punish him, so he can show it to the headmaster, and the letter, complaint letter, will be justified. And whatever he said would be proved that he is right, not at all wrong. So let's see what happened now. Swaminathan, where is your homework? I haven't done any homework, sir, he said blandly. There was a pause. After that, what happened? Swaminathan very blandly he said that he has done no homework. And there was a pause. There was a pause for some time, and he thought now Samuel will bring out his cane and he will start beating him. But no, nothing happened. Let's see what happened. Asked Samuel. What I asked? Why? Why you haven't done the homework? Headache. Then Swami said, yes, sir. All right, sit down. Swami sat down, wondering what had come over Samuel. The period came to an end, and Swami felt desolate. So after that, what happened? Now the second chance was also missed. He was not able to get any proof. And this time, while checking the homework, the teacher also said that you had headache. Then after that, he told him to sit down. No punishment, no violence scene created in the classroom. So now Swami become very desperate. He become very miserable because his pocket was filled with the heaviness of this complaint letter, and he was not able to justify in the two chances he got, but both the chances were just it became a futile attempt. So he didn't get any punishment. The last period for the day was again taken by Samuel. He came this time to teach them Indian history. So the first period was taken, and it was of which subject? Arithmetic. And the last period was also taken by Samuel, and it was of Indian history. You can underline these things. The period began at 3:45 and ended at 4:30. So how much time he has in his hand? So he had, what is the time limit? Can anybody tell? It's 45 minutes. The period was of 45 minutes and it started at 3:45 and completed or ended at 4:30. That means it was the last period of the day. Swaminathan had sat through the previous periods thinking acutely. So what he was doing the whole period that day? So he was thinking how to provoke, how to make Samuel angry, how he can get some proof. And after that, what happened? The last period came, it was the last chance. Let's see what he did. The whole period, the whole previous periods were spent thinking about the plan and that how he will execute that plan. He couldn't devise any methods of provoking Samuel, but to his bad luck, he couldn't get any means or any chance or any plan to provoke him. When the clock struck 4, Swami felt desperate. Oh my God, it's only 30 minutes left. What he will do? So, the last chance. Half an hour more. Samuel was reading the red text, the portion describing Vasco da Gama's arrival in India. The boys listened in half languor. Swami suddenly asked at top of his voice, "Why didn't Columbus come to India, sir?" So now what happened? So Samuel, he was reading the book and it was which subject? Indian history. And what was the portion he was describing? You can underline that, Vasco da Gama's arrival in India. And what was the reaction of all the children? Obviously, it's the last period and it was Indian history. He was describing something, talking, and the children were listening with dull mind. They were not active at all. And in between that, what happened? Swami suddenly asked a question. But what was the unusual thing? That he shouted at top of his voice very loudly. And what was the question he asked? Why did not Columbus come to India, sir? He lost his way. I can't believe it. It is unbelievable, sir. Why? Such a great man would have not known the way? Don't shout, I can hear you quite well. I am not shouting, sir. This is my ordinary voice, which God has given me. How can I help it? Shut up and sit down. So after that, what happened? So when Swaminathan was talking, he was talking very loudly, and which was not tolerable, you can say. The teacher was getting irritated and he said, why Columbus didn't come to India? So what the answer the teacher gave? That he lost his way. He was on his voyage to India, but he reached there. He reached in America. But when he listened to this answer that he lost his way, so he said, I can't believe it. It is impossible. Then the teacher asked, why? Why can't you believe that it is impossible, unbelievable? So he said, such a great man. He was such a great person, but he lost his way. He didn't know how to reach India. So he must have known his way. Then the teacher said, don't shout. I can hear you quite well. Why are you shouting? I can listen to you. So what is the reason? Why are you shouting so much? So he said, no, I am not shouting, sir. This is my ordinary voice. And the God has given this voice to me. How can I help it? Then the teacher got irritated and said, shut up and sit down. Swaminathan sat down, feeling slightly happy at his success. The teacher threw a puzzled, suspicious glance at him and resumed his lessons. Swaminathan was very happy. So, what is the reason behind that? Because he was able to irritate Samuel Samuel got irritated and he said, "Shut up and sit down." So he didn't like the behavior of Swami, and now the teacher looked at him very suspiciously. That what happened? He was really confused. That in the morning he was all right, and now he is shouting at the top of his voice. And the teacher looked at him very puzzled in a confused manner and suspiciously glance means looked at him, and he continued. Resume means continue. He resumed his lessons. His next chance occurred when Sankar of the first bench got up and asked, "Sir, was Vasco da Gama the very first person to come to India?" Before the teacher could answer, Swami shouted from the back bench, "That's what they say." The teacher and all the boys looked at Swami. The teacher was puzzled by Swami's obtrusive behavior today. "Swaminathan, you are shouting again." So after that, what happens? So he got successful in the first attempt to provoke Samuel, and now he got the second chance. And when he got it, when his friend Sankar asked another question, before the teacher could answer, Swaminathan got up from the back bench and shouted loudly that that's what they say, that Vasco da Gama was the very first person to come to India. And everybody, including the teacher, looked at him, and the teacher was really confused about Swami's behavior today. And he said, "Swaminathan, you are shouting again." "I am not shouting, sir. How can I help my voice given by God?" So after that, he again loudly said that he is not shouting and he can't help his voice because it's given by God. It's the natural voice. The school clock struck a quarter four. A quarter more. So how much time was left? Only 15 minutes left. Swami felt he must do something drastic in 15 minutes. Samuel had no doubt scolded at him and snubbed him, but it was hardly adequate. Swami felt that with a little more effort, Samuel could be made to deserve dismissal and imprisonment. So he said, "Now I am half successful, and only 15 minutes is left." And Swami said whatever he did in the classroom, so it has irritated Samuel, and now he is no doubt angry, and he no doubt is getting you can say disappointed, you can say, or you can say he is really confused, he is puzzled about Swaminathan, why he is behaving like this. And then what happened? And he said, but it is not sufficient. Why? That getting angry is not sufficient to dismiss somebody from the job. So it's natural, he has not done anything violent. He is irritated. He only looked at him puzzled. He only said, "Sit down, don't shout. You are shouting again." So these are not the reasons for which one will be dismissed from the job, and police will never take him to jail because of these actions. So he said it was he was successful, but not enough proof he has gathered. It is not adequate. It is not enough. So he said that if he will do some little more effort in provoking Samuel that day, he will be successful, and Samuel will get angry, he will punish, and after that he will deserve that punishment, imprisonment, that sending to jail and dismissal. And after that what happened? Let's see. The teacher came to the end of a section in the textbook and stopped. He proposed to spend the remaining few minutes putting questions to the boys. He ordered the whole class to put away their books and asked someone in the second row, "What is the date of Vasco da Gama's arrival in India?" So now the teacher Samuel completed the lesson about Vasco da Gama's visit to India, and after that arrival to India, and all the details he described in the classroom, and finally he decided to spend the last few minutes discussing and asking some questions to the students. And he asked one of the boy in the second row that, "Tell, what is the date of the Vasco da Gama's arrival in India?" And he asked that boy, but what happened? Swaminathan shut up. He stood up and screeched. Screeched means very loudly, he said, 1648 December 20. Loudly he said. You needn't shout, said the teacher. He asked, has your headache made you mad? So he said, you don't need to shout here. We are all able to listen to the normal voice. So why are you shouting loudly? And what happened to you? Has your headache made you mad that you are behaving so strangely? I have no headache now, sir, replied the thunderer brightly. Means again he loudly said, I have no headaches now, sir. Sit down, you idiot. Swami was thrilled at being called an idiot. So he was feeling very happy that, oh, teacher said him idiot, and now he is very successful at his work. If you get up again, I will cane you, said the teacher. Swami sat down, feeling happy at the promise. So now the teacher got very irritated, angry, and he said that sit down, you idiot, and warned him that if he will do that again, if he get up again and shouted like that, what will happen? So he will punish him and he will beat him with the cane. I will cane you. Now Swami become very happy that at the promise. And what is that promise? To punish, give the punishment. So let's see what happened now. The teacher then asked, I am going to put a few questions on the Mughal period. Among the Mughal emperors, whom would you call the greatest, whom the strongest, and whom the most religious emperor? When the question ended, Swami got up. As soon as he was seen, the teacher said emphatically, sit down. The teacher was teaching in the class. He asked one question. You can imagine that when the question ended, Swami got up from the seat. And as soon as the teacher saw Swami standing, he just told him, sit down. I want to answer, sir. Sit down. No, sir, I want to answer. What did I say I would do if you got up again? You said you would cane me and peel the skin off my knuckles and make me press it on my forehead. All right, come here. So after that, what happened? So now Swami was very happy that he got successful. And when he wanted to answer the question, the teacher got irritated. He said, why are you standing up? Sit down. Again he said, sit down. And when he didn't listen, he said, I want to answer. The teacher said, what I had said you, what I said you, I will do. Then he said, you will punish me. And he just told that you would cane me, you will peel the skin off my knuckles, and you will press it on the forehead. Then the teacher said, okay, all right, come here. Idhar aao. No. After that, what happened? Swaminathan left his seat joyfully and hopped on the platform. The teacher took out his cane from the drawer and shouted angrily. So after that, so have you seen anybody getting becoming happy out getting this punishment? Definitely not. So, but here Swami's plan worked. He provoked Swaminath Samuel, and now he got the punishment. And he just came from his seat very happily, joyfully, and he jumped on the platform. And the teacher took out his cane from where? The drawer. And what he said angrily, open your hand, you little devil. He walked 3 wholesome cuts on each palm. So he just gave 3 and 3. Means how many canes he got? 6. So he gave 3 wholesome cuts on each palm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Swami received them without blinching. After half a dozen, the teacher asked, will this do or do you want some more? So when Swaminathan got 6 canes, half a dozen means 6. So he showed his hands and 3 cuts in right hand, 3 cuts in the left hand, total 6. And then the teacher said, ho gaya, you want something more? Will this do or do you want some more? Swaminathan merely held out his hand again. So he showed his hand again and received 2 more. So how many cuts he got? 8. And then suddenly what happened? The bell rang. Finally successful, no? Swami jumped down from the platform with a light heart, though his hands were smarting, though he was feeling pain in his hand, but still his heart was light. He just picked up his books, took out the letter lying in his pocket, and ran to the headmaster's room. He found the door locked. So, Bichara Swaminathan, so sad. Let's see what happened with him. So, after that, what happened? He got 8 canes from the teacher. Though his hands were pained, he was hurt. It was paining very much, but still he felt very happy at the success. Now he can show it to the headmaster and he can justify the letter that yes, whatever I said was right. Samuel is a very violent person. And but we know how he managed to do all these things, isn't it? To hide one lie, he has to undergo all this problem. But let's see what happened. He picked up the book. He just took the letter which was lying in his pocket and went directly to the headmaster's room. But when he reached there, what happened? He found the door locked. He asked the peon, "Where is the headmaster?" "Why do you want him?" "My father has sent a letter for him." So he just said that the door is locked. Where is the headmaster? The peon said that the headmaster, he just asked why you want it, why you want him, what is the reason. So he just replied that his father has sent a letter for him. He has taken the afternoon off and won't come back for a week. You can give the letter to the assistant headmaster. He will be here soon. He will be here now. So after that, the peon said that, oh, he is not here. He has already gone. He has taken the afternoon off and he won't come within this. He won't come for a week. So he is on leave. And then he said, if you have something urgent, you can give it to your assistant headmaster. Who is he? Your teacher Samuel. He will be here in a second. So now Swaminathan got shocked, surprised that whom he will give the letter? Samuel, the person for whom the complaint was given. So when the peon said that your teacher Samuel is the assistant headmaster, and what do you think what he will do? Swaminathan fled from the place. As soon as Swami went home with the letter, father remarked, "I knew you wouldn't deliver it, you coward." "I swear our headmaster is on leave," Swaminathan began. Father replied, "Don't lie in addition to being a coward." So after that, what happened? Swami couldn't deliver the letter because whatever he has written in the letter, it was against whom? It was against the teacher Samuel, and he is himself the assistant headmaster. So he got scared and he didn't give the complaint letter, came back home, and at home also he was scolded by his father. The father said that, "Oh, I knew that you would never give or you would never deliver the letter. You are a coward." But he just said, "No, headmaster is on leave." But father said, "Don't lie. You're telling a lie and you are a coward, and at the same time you're telling lie." Swaminathan held up the envelope and said, he took out the envelope and said that, "I will give this to the headmaster as soon as he is back." So he showed the letter to the father and said that he will give it as soon as he returns. But father, what he did, he snatched it from his hand, tore it up and thrust it into the waste paper basket under his table. But father, he took the envelope from him, tore it into pieces and threw it into the dustbin. And he said that, "Don't come to me for help. Even if Samuel throttles you, you deserve your Samuel." So after that, father gave a remarked that, "Don't come to me for help because I wanted to help you, but you are a coward and you couldn't deliver the letter. So don't come for any help, and you deserve your teacher Samuel." So now the story has come to an end. So there is understanding the story. This is for you. And so what you learned from here, that whatever when he told the lie to his father that Samuel is a violent person and he wanted to justify the letter, he provoked him, he created situation like that, and finally what happened? He was trapped in his own trap. So this is what happens when you lie. And he could have easily told truth to the father that he didn't feel like going, or if there is some problem, but he told lie, excuses, and finally he had to take the burden of this thing. So he underwent so much tension, problem, and that guilt feeling, and finally what happened? He was punished. He got punishment also, and that also didn't help him get rid of all this situation. At home he was also scolded and called as a coward by the father. So this is all about Swaminathan, Swami. So let's see, true and false you have to write down. You have to take the mark. Swami didn't want to go to school because he had a headache. Swami's school began at 9. So these are the questions. It's for you. Homework you can say. You'll write down this in the classwork copy. And in the next session and in the next class, we'll discuss all this. But before that, you have to do all these things. Okay, bye.